started doing this massive spring clean of my stuff and ultimately never stopped. Being unorganized was never the issue. Having too much stuff to manage was the issue. It was completely and utterly unrealistic to ever be able to organize or manage the amount of things I had. Guys, I was the queen of just in case items. I never addressed how much of a hoarder I was. The things that I kept just in case, I couldn't even find when I needed them. Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I was meant to be recording this video whilst my baby was sleeping in his bouncer. He is now not sleeping in his bouncer, he is now away. Fingers crossed we're gonna get through this entire video without having to stop and move it to another time or day, because honestly getting into this scene, into this point of filming, it's a whole thing. I never ever intended to embark on a minimalism journey. I never explored it or thought about exploring it or necessarily even paid any attention to it until I became a mum for the first time, and I was so overwhelmed. Everything was new. There was all of these new things to learn. There was all of these new things in my home. There was just a lot to adjust to. And on top of this new lifestyle season of my life, I never addressed how much of a hoarder I was. I never addressed how much stuff I had kept out of guilt because someone had bought it for me, or because I had bought it with my own money and I was holding on to it just because I bought it, or because it was from my childhood, even if it didn't actually necessarily mean much to me. I never addressed the amount of stuff I had and the amount of stuff I kept and the amount of stuff I kept impulsively buying until I was literally at breaking point and I just needed life to feel lighter. One day I had this realization: what if motherhood wasn't the thing that was overwhelming me? What if it was my environment? What if it was my home? What if it was the amount of stuff that was saying to me, clean me, sweep me, put me away, sell me, wash me? What if it was the fact that my whole entire house was constantly screaming to me to do things and was constantly making this ultimate massive to-do list that was weighing me down and really affecting me? In the spring of 2023, I decided to do a massive spring clean of my home, of my life, of the things that didn't feel like my next level self. Like when I was thinking of the woman I wanted to become, the mother I wanted to be, the career I wanted to go into, the home that I wanted to buy. We were at that time thinking of selling our home, which was our last home, and then we later bought this home, and I was just thinking of that version of me that I wanted to step into. I started doing this massive spring clean of my stuff and ultimately never stopped and went down this rabbit hole of what you could call minimalism. I have got rid of, I would say, over 70% of my stuff. Things from my wardrobe, things from my kitchen, things from all of the cupboards, things that I was storing in the loft. I have got rid of so much stuff. Inside of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 minimalist rules that have ultimately transformed my life because they have allowed me to release the stuff in my home so that I have more space, more energy, more bandwidth to think and to live and to really focus my energy on the things and the people that matter most. Having so much stuff in my home kept me so busy, not just physically but mentally as well, and I couldn't fully focus on what was right in front of me, which is what I'd always wanted, which was to be a mum and just be present with my beautiful little girl. Instead, I was just cluttered. I felt cluttered. So if you're feeling cluttered, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you feel like you never feel like you can ever get your home tidy, and you never feel like you get to the bottom of the washing pile, and everything just feels like a lot when you're in your home feels noisy, not from a volume perspective but from like an energetic level, like it feels noisy, it feels heavy, you are going to love this video. So without further ado, let's get into number one. Number one, this is one of my favorite ones, and this has really helped me when it comes to getting rid of items and thinking, oh, should I get rid of this, should I not, I might use it, I might need it. If you can replace it within 20 minutes or for £20 or less, get rid of it. I've just found this to be so helpful because I have got really caught up on little things that I would just spend so long thinking, shall I get rid of this, shall I not, and actually just reminding myself that I can get it on Amazon within 20 minutes, or if I can get it for £20 or less, I'm going to allow myself to release that item. And that has helped me so much with the things that just felt a little bit harder to get rid of, or whether I was maybe sitting on something, and that has just helped me so much to really make those quick decisions, because I really feel like if you are embarking on a decluttering journey, especially if you're at the beginning, you don't want to drain yourself too early on really struggling to make those decisions. So this one has really helped me to just decide if I can order it within 20 minutes or less, or I can buy it for £20 or less, then I'm going to get rid of the item. Number 2, which probably should have gone before number 1, it probably would have made number 2 make more sense. I have to love, need, or use the item. If I do not love, need, or use the item, it is safe to let it go. This goes for clothes, shoes, things, kitchen utensils, random things in my home, like random chargers that like no one even knows what they charge or what they fit. Everything and anything, if I don't love it, need it, or use it, it's safe to get rid of it. Number 3 is more specific to clothes, but you probably can apply this to another area, and that is I have to love everything about it. So maybe you have a jumper that you love the color but you don't love the fit. Or maybe you love the fit but you don't love the color. I remember when I did my decluttering vlog, which I will link either here or here, whatever side it is. If you want to get a little bit more decluttering motivation, feel free to declutter with me in that vlog. But there was a jumper that I was holding on to for so long, and it was because it was from one of my favorite stores. It was high quality. I'd invested in it as an investment piece because it was a little bit pricier than what I normally would have spent. But if I was being honest with myself, I didn't love the fit, like the neckline, and I didn't love the color on me. And so it's wild how long I actually kept that jumper and other things of a similar nature, because I, you know, had loved the material, or it felt nice, and I kept keeping it because I thought, oh, I'll wear it in the house, or oh, I'll wear that one day. But the truth is, I didn't feel amazing in it. And the whole motivation behind my decluttering journey was to create more space for more joy in my life. And so I don't want to keep things that I don't feel amazing wearing, or don't feel like myself, or I kind of can't wait to get rid of, or I hope that no one sees me out in it. That defeats the whole point of why I was doing this in the first place. So if I don't love everything about it, that means the fit, the color, the neckline, the waistband, the length of the trouser. If I don't love the way it feels, if it's not comfortable, I'm not keeping it. So being really, really strict when it comes to clothes has helped me not only to get rid of things that I don't love absolutely everything about, but also not to keep things that I order. You know, when you order something online, you think, I don't love the waistband, or the waistband feels a little bit tight, but I'll lose some weight and then they'll fit. Or the length, not 100% sure, but I do love the color, so I'm going to keep them. Those things I am not keeping. I am sending back. I am being really, really diligent. I don't know if that's the right word. I think that's the right word, but I'm being really intentional with what I'm allowing into my wardrobe, and making sure that I love the pieces, the coats, the trousers, the jumpers that I do buy. For me, my journey is not about just having less and less stuff for the sake of having less stuff. It's about having pieces in my wardrobe, having items in my life that I love and that bring me joy and make me happy. So yeah, have to love everything about it. Number 4, you may have heard me say this before, but that is the 5-minute rule. If I cannot pick up a room in 5 minutes or less, I have too much stuff. This one is especially true for the kitchen, but also for the playroom and toys and even bedrooms. I find that if a room becomes a little bit hard to manage and I really struggle to get it tidy, I know that there's too much stuff in it and it definitely needs a declutter. So yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. 5-minute or less rule. I want to be able to run around my house at the end of the night and close my house and be able to make downstairs nice and tidy, ready for the next morning, without it taking hours and feeling like this mountain of a job, especially since becoming a mum. I just feel like being able to pick up the room in a short amount of time is just so life-changing. Number 5 is little or no duplicates. This is a bit of a hard one. There are definitely things that I do have duplicates of, like black leggings, for example. My hand soap, I love my hand soap that I have. So in the Black Friday sale, I stocked up on a few of them because it's one of my favorite soaps. You know, there are little things that I do allow myself to have duplicates of, but majority of the time I try not to have tons and tons of stock of things. But things like toilet roll, kitchen roll, those sorts of things, I do allow myself to keep a few extras of. But generally, I've really tried on my decluttering journey to reduce the amount of stock. Like I used to have, let's say, a surface spray, and I'd go shopping and I'd buy another 3 surface sprays because I like the smell or because they were on offer, and then I would have this cupboard of cleaning products that was just full of stuff that I could never find anything, and it just added to this mental to-do list of the amount of inventory and the amount of stuff that I had in my home that I had to manage, use, and not forget that I had. So I really generally try not to keep too many duplicates of things. And one thing I will say about this is you will have your areas where you will have more duplicates, or you will have more areas that you don't mind having more stuff and it doesn't necessarily stress you out, and then there'll be other areas where you really, really want to keep it minimal. So for example, Saskia, she has a lot of teddies, and whilst I have tried to minimize the amount of teddies she has, I just feel like I'm allowing her to just have lots of little teddies. I just feel like right now they go in a big basket and it's no big deal. Same with black leggings. Like I said, I have 3 pairs I think of black leggings, maybe more actually, but I've got my 2 that I rotate regularly, and then I've got the ones I'm wearing now, which are like more flared ones. So there are certain things that I do allow myself to have duplicates of. But generally, when I'm going through my decluttering and when I've been on this journey, I really try to reduce the amount of duplicates. Number 6 is going to be more applicable when you are a little bit further down your decluttering journey and you are kind of happy with where things are at. Like I would say maybe like 3, 4, I would say actually around 6-ish months ago, just before I had Rocco, I had got to a place where I was really happy. Like I was pregnant, I was on a massive purge. I was like, I'm getting rid of everything. I really want to step into my next level postpartum. I want to feel light. I don't want to feel cluttered. I don't want to feel heavy. I just want to focus on what matters most to me, which is motherhood and being a good mummy. I got to this place where I felt really, really good about how much I decluttered, and that's when I started implementing the 1 in, 1 out rule. So this applies more so when you are buying things, making sure that if you allow something into your home, like a new jumper, a new pair of leggings, it could be toys as well for your kids. When you allow in something new into your home, make sure you get rid of the one that you were replacing, because that is a really sneaky way that clutter can clutter up, allowing new things in and not actually getting rid of the old thing, thinking, oh, we'll keep that for one day just in case this one breaks, or just in case we need one for this or for that. Actually just, yeah, 1 in, 1 out. If I say, all right, I'm gonna buy myself this jumper, I absolutely love it, looking in my wardrobe and going, okay, which one have I worn the least? Which one do I not absolutely love? Which one have I not reached for in the last 6 months to a year? There were things in my wardrobe that I haven't reached for 3 years, 4 years, that I was holding onto. So yeah, 1 in, 1 out will help you to actually maintain that journey of keeping things minimal. So yeah, that one has been really, really impactful for me. I'm gonna try and put Rocco down, see if he stays asleep while I do the last few. Okay. All right, number 7. Number 7 is probably, I would say, the hardest one out of all of them, and that is getting rid of just in case items. How many things, like, be honest with me, how many things do you have in your home that you're like, I'm gonna keep that just in case? I might need that thing one day, even though I've not used it in the last 8 years. I might just keep that just in case so-and-so comes around and we need an extra few plates. Guys, I was the queen of just in case items. In fact, I think majority of my house was just in case items, because I kept everything just in case I needed it. And the truth is, majority of the things that I kept just in case I never actually needed or wanted to use, or the best one is I couldn't find. I don't know if this is just me, but there would be so much stuff in certain cupboards and drawers that the things that I kept just in case, I couldn't even find when I needed them. I would have things stuffed at the back of drawers, but because there was so much stuff in the drawers, when I actually needed the item, it was literally the case where I needed it just in case, and I couldn't find it. That was when the penny dropped for me of really just being savage with my decluttering, was realizing that even all the stuff that I was keeping, I didn't actually even use when I actually ended up needing it, because I couldn't find it because I had too much stuff that I had kept. And the penny dropped, and that's when I just started really pushing myself to get rid of certain things that I really was not gonna ever need. And if I did happen to have the case where I really needed that item, I could potentially get it again, or I could borrow it from a friend. And I would honestly say, after getting rid of so many of the things in my house, there's probably maybe 3 times where I thought, oh, I could have worn that jumper today. When I weigh up how much I actually regret, or how much I actually ended up needing to keep, versus how amazing I feel for getting rid of what I've gotten rid of, and how much lighter I feel, and how much easier my home is to manage, and how much bandwidth and energy I have to just pour into my babies and my home and my family and myself. And like, I just have more space. I wouldn't say I have so much space, because life is very full right now, but I can't imagine how full and overwhelmed I would feel if not only I was in this full season, but I had the amount of stuff that I was keeping and hoarding. Like, I can't even imagine how I would feel. If you are getting caught up on actually the gap between deciding you're going to get rid of it but then actually getting rid of it and feeling good about it, there might be some room in the middle for a little bit of a waiting period where you can just keep things away from the area that they were in, whether that be your wardrobe. So take the piece of clothing out your wardrobe, take the item out your kitchen or out your living room, whatever it is, and give it some time and see if you actually reach for it. So I feel I'm going well off on a tangent here, but hopefully that was helpful. Those are 7 of the minimalist rules that have really changed my life when it comes to decluttering and just lightening up the energy in my home and in my life, because I don't have so much stuff constantly clogging up my brain and clogging up my energy and clogging up my home. Instead, when I open drawers, I can see what I need to find. When I need to find an item, I know where it is. I just feel like it is these tiny little things that make the biggest difference. I've always said this, that the little things are the big things. And I know it can sound really dramatic when someone's on the internet saying that decluttering has changed their life, but no, really, decluttering has changed my life. When you're a hoarder, or when you are someone that just holds on to things because of whatever reason other than I don't love, need, or use it, I just feel like there's a lot of emotions attached to that. Like, it's deeper than just, oh, I want to keep all this stuff. It's actually like there's guilt attached to it, there's shame, like I paid for the item, I never used it, like I'm ashamed, so I'm just going to keep it to make it worth it, which makes no sense because I don't even want to wear it or don't even want to use it because it doesn't actually work, right? Like, there is a lot of emotion often attached to it, and that emotion is what can feel heavy in my experience anyway. So yeah, decluttering is a journey. Decluttering is like an onion, there are layers. I did a massive big declutter in the beginning. I did my massive spring clean. I've done a few massive spring cleans over the course of the last 2 years, but then now I've got to the point where like maybe I can find like one thing a day or every few days where I can like get rid of something, or I add it to my pile that I have in a room downstairs of like things that are going to go to the charity shop. And I'm a little bit faster with, if an item doesn't work, it's like, right, let's get rid of it, instead of putting it back in the cupboard just in case, you know what I mean? So yeah, I could talk about this for days. I could go on and on because this has truly been a really transformational journey, a really unexpected journey that I never expected or intended on actually embarking on when I started that first one-off spring clean in 2023. But yeah, it has been really life-changing, especially since becoming a mum, a new mum, and becoming a mum for the second time and having 2 babies. And I really hope that this video can inspire and motivate the person who needs it and who has been just looking for a sign to give themselves permission to release the things that they've been holding onto for whatever reason, and know that it is safe to do so, because you are going to feel so good on the other side of it when you feel lighter and things feel more in order and it's easier to organize things. We often think that we need to be more organized. I don't know if you have that thought, but I've definitely thought over the years, I just need to be more organized. I just need to be more organized. I'm so unorganized. And what I've learned on this journey is actually being unorganized was never the issue. Having too much stuff to manage was the issue. It was completely and utterly unrealistic to ever be able to organize or manage the amount of things I had. And so my house was always a mess. There was always things shoved in cupboards and shoved in drawers and pushed to the back of things, and I could never find anything. And it was never because I needed to be more organized. It was because I needed to get rid of stuff. And when you have less stuff, you have less things that need organizing, and things naturally are easier to organize when there is less of it. You are only one human being, and you can only manage and do so much. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. Do let me know if you like this video. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah. Bye guys.